But Dad, isn't it time for illegal ham in the face? But bro, where's the banjo?
Vinny. There it is. Oh. All right. I am that fat guy. We are here at episode 40. Mm-hmm. I am here with Big Bry, who is via Messenger.
Gentlemen, how we doing?
We are doing great, buddy. How are you today?
Fantastic.
We are also here with my cousin Vinny, who is in studio with me, as always.
Hey, good morning.
All right, boys. So let's get into this show. All right. So we have a great show for you today. We're going to talk a little bit about Browns, a little bit about Cavs, a little bit about Indians. We're going to talk about our Super Bowl spread that we had because of the past Super Bowl. Bry's probably going to kiss Tom Brady's ass, so that's going to happen this show. That's fine.
Can't help it.
He's due, and you know that's fine. We're probably also going to talk a little bit about Clay Matthews getting snubbed in the Hall of Fame, which is kind of a kick, and also. The first shout out that I'm going to give is to the family of Marty Schottenheimer. He passed away at the age of 77. We found out that news. Also, Les Levine passed away this week too. So it's been a kind of a rough week here for Cleveland people, and we just want to wish everybody the best from us, and our prayers and thoughts are with the families.
Sure.
Also want to shout out my cousin Vinny right now is behind the scenes working on our February live show, and we might be at the Foundry Social down in Medina coming up here. This is Big Bry's pick. Mm-hmm. So hopefully we can get this all situated and go. Also, later on tonight, Craig's son has got to, oh, there he is. Craig's son, his birthday is today, so the Ham Boys are taking over the Browns table tonight. So it should be very interesting here a little bit later.
Nice.
A little ham on the table.
We're bringing the ham to the table. It shouldn't even be the Browns table anymore, right? Should just be the ham table.
We can come up with something.
All right. We also got special guest is going to join us later. Mike Ped, a very good friend of the show. He has been listening to us. He's friends of Lauren's and Jay's. So he is going to join us here in a little bit later to talk sports. So I'm going to switch over here to my cousin Vinny. Vinny, do you got any shout-outs this week, my man?
Me and the wifey, we went out to Hail Mary. Actually, over
here in Westlake, right?
Yeah, Westlake.
It's Westlake right there on Center Ridge.
Yep, absolutely fantastic food.
Yeah, we might have to get in there soon too.
Oh yeah,
I've heard the food there is phenomenal. Is there anybody else you want to shout out?
No, that should be about it.
Okay, Big Bry, you got anybody you want to shout out?
I guess I'll just echo your sentiments on Les Levine and Marty because. They were such a big part of us growing up as Browns fans and in the city of Cleveland. And, I was watching NFL Live a little earlier and just they were running down all that Marty did as a head coach in the NFL. And it was something pretty spectacular. I mean, he was with four franchises, but really three for an extended period of time. And he had success in every single place. He won 10-plus games 11 times, and he was consistently in the playoffs. He still has guys under his tree, I guess, that are some of the best coaches we have going now and of the last 20 years. I didn't realize Bruce Arians was on one of his staffs. And other guys, Bill Cowher, Mike McCarthy, Tony Dungy. So those are some of the best coaches of the last 20 years. So he truly will be missed, and really he's, in my mind, he's the best Browns coach that I've ever seen, and for probably most people under the age of 40 or 50.
Yeah.
I mean, you haven't seen anyone better. And I didn't realize how short his stay really was in Cleveland. He was only here for like 4.5 years.
Well, like every other coach here in Cleveland, right?
And I don't know why. I'm assuming it had something to do with Art Modell kicking him out.
Well, probably.
Because, Retigliano, I guess, got fired like in the middle of the season in '84, and then Marty took over from there up and through '88. And I mean, those were the heydays of the Browns for us growing up. Yeah, making it to the AFC Championship a couple times, making it in the playoffs, and being a Super Bowl contender for basically his whole stretch. So I don't know why it didn't last longer, but he was one of the best. So that's my Marty take. The other shout out I guess I'll give is something that I think a lot of people have seen, but I don't know if everyone has seen on social media. Larry Nance has been wearing T-shirts for local businesses, local small businesses in Cleveland for every single game. And even though he's out for the next month or 6 weeks, I think he's still doing that. So just something pretty cool. A local guy giving back, supporting local businesses, and kind of getting their name out there. Having a big-time NBA star wear your merch is pretty cool. So I thought that was pretty cool, and a way for him to kind of think outside the box and put his fame and his fortune to good use for the small man during a difficult year.
Yep. So that's what we're trying to do, too, with where we're visiting. I mean, I know there are bigger places, but that's, this is why we started this podcast, Brian, was to actually help out the smaller bars and stuff like that have taken a huge hit being shut down because of the quarantine and all that stuff. So, it's very, very nice that he is doing something like that. And especially, maybe we should give him a ham t-shirt and see what he does.
Yeah, why not? I bet he'll wear it. He'll wear it. I guarantee it.
Should we put uncorked and unloaded on the back of it or on the front?
He'll know.
He'll understand. He'll understand.
He's a listener.
All right, Bri. So we also got to do our sponsor, which is Underdog Clothing Company. You can find them at underdogclothingco.com. Also find them on Twitter or Instagram. They got some good stuff coming out. Still waiting on the shipment of shirts. So, 2XLs are hard to find, Bri. I mean,
I guess so.
We're big boys. It's a lot of fabric.
Shortage of thread.
Yeah, I know. Also, one last shout out. We got this. We talked about this today at work. We have a little friend at work named Jose Cato, and Jose has found us on Facebook and has started watching and listening to our stuff, and he is giving us crap every day about it. But Jose, if you listen to us, bud, I see you at work tomorrow, and that's all I got to say. That's why they call me that fat guy. I knew I was in for it when I walked in, and all I heard was, fatty. And I'm like, oh, there it is. There it is. So, also want to get into our trivia here, Bri. I got to adjust something over here on the sound real quickly. Okay, so let's play our trivia music. All right, Bri. I am giving you the trivia, which is brought to you by Curb Appeal Landscaping. You can catch Papa V at curbappeal419.com for all your landscaping services. All right, Brian. So I got you two of them. All right. So the first one you already kind of snagged up today on me. Trevor Bauer signed a $40 million a year contract to play with the Dodgers. All right. So I am bringing to you, he is higher than 3 teams' payroll, just him.
Mm-hmm.
Can you name me those 3 teams? And you can go ahead and pop them off right now because you already know who they
No,
are.
I'm not going to like this answer. Well, I know, unfortunately, he's making more money than the Indians. He's also making more money than the Pirates.
Yes.
And the third one escapes me, but
I think
I'll
it's
just take
the
a fair.
Orioles.
Oh, yes.
I think
right.
that's
You
what
did
it
say
is.
that. Yeah, I
So,
was going to guess the Royals, but you're right.
also, the Super Bowl marked a major event for Tom Brady. This is his seventh Super Bowl ring out of 10 Super Bowls?
Right.
I mean, we can't argue what this guy is anymore because he's just, I don't even know how to explain it. He's just something special. Even though I hate to say that because Bryce sees the pain in my face as I say it.
You know what? It's just striking me now. I meant to wear my Michigan Tom Brady jersey, so
Thank God
you
we're not doing a
escaped
live
that
show, so that's awesome. Have Ashley bring it in to you. You'll love that.
Well, I'll have to wear it for the next show for you.
All right. So Tom Brady won his seventh championship.
Mm-hmm.
There is one other NFL quarterback that has won 7 championships.
Mm-hmm.
Can you name me that quarterback?
You want it now?
Oh, no, we'll wait till the end. I'm pretty sure everybody knows it. I know you know it. I can see the gleam in your eye right now because you're all excited about it. So
Come on, man.
It's all right. Let's get our show. Let's get.
What kind of Browns fan would I be if I didn't know this one?
Well, I just had to say it. It's just
Okay.
it's for
I like it.
Hey,
I
this
like
is
giving
for
them a little
this
shout out.
This is for the fans. It's not for us. It's for the fans. You might touch somebody today with that answer.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'm sure there's somebody out there listening that probably doesn't know it, so we'll get to it.
All right. You want to bring our guest on?
Let's do it.
All right. Let me pause this real quick. And Big Bry, here we got now live on our show. And I call him Mike Ped. Mike, what do you want to go as?
Just Mike, that's fine. Mike,
Just
Ped,
Mike?
whatever you want to call me.
Okay. So Mike has been a listener of ours. He's also friends with Lauren and our boy Always Positive Jay, which
Right.
Mike, also Always Positive Jay, wanted me to tell you thank you again for the tickets that you got for him for the Browns game.
Oh, man. It was my pleasure.
So-
I'm just glad to have him. Glad to have another Browns fan there.
So you are a huge Browns fan. You are from Pennsylvania. You're about, hour and a half away from Pittsburgh?
Yeah, about an hour and a half north of it.
God, I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it, bud.
I've been there for 8 years, too.
Are you up by Erie?
Yeah, I'm about 40 minutes south of Erie.
Oh, cool.
If you know where Andover is, I'm about 20 minutes from Andover, Ohio.
Gotcha. Right. Okay.
Okay, so you have become a Browns fan because of your dad, all right?
Yep.
And you informed me last night that your wife is a Steelers fan.
Yeah, she's one of those Youngstown Steeler fans.
So I got to ask, how hard is that to, especially as a wife, bring that into the, let's just say, bring that into the bedroom? Did you rub it in when you finally beat the Steelers and just let her have it?
You don't. Yeah, she's like a typical Yinzer fan. I love her to death, but you don't dare talk bad about the Steelers. She gets a little frustrated.
Oh, boy.
I go easy on her. I want to make sure she's okay and happy and not feeling too rough about things. But I told her I've had 20 years of this pent up, and
That
it is what it is.
I would have just went off. I would have just started screaming and yelling. I wouldn't even have cared.
I went off when they won, and especially that first quarter. Me and my buddy were there, so she was outnumbered. She had 2 Browns fans, and she didn't say a word. She just sat with her arms crossed in her TJ Watt jersey, just staring at the TV.
Yeah, a lot of good her wearing that TJ Watt jersey did. So
and it's a nice one. It's the block letter one, so at least she's stylish in it.
well, that's true. And you are a collector of jerseys too, for what I hear from
Yeah.
Lauren. You got like 13 different jerseys?
Well, I have 12 right now. I just got my Batonia one in the mail yesterday.
Oh.
Finally came. I ordered it like 10
Nice.
12 weeks ago.
So who all do you have?
Well, I have 2 customs that are number 84. They're different sizes because I lost some weight, and they have my last name on them. They have Pedersen on them. Then I have a Joe Thomas. I have a Josh Cribbs, a Phil Dawson, Ronnie Harrison jersey,
Oh, that a boy.
an OBJ, a Landry, a Baker, an Orange Garrett.
Oh,
And I just got, like I said, a 75 Batonio in the new brown look.
well, at least you got some decent players. You didn't go with like Josh Gordon or Dwayne Bowe.
No, I didn't. I actually was very selective with what I went with, and I built a lot of them, like the OBJ, the Phil Dawson, the Joe Thomas. They're all the 2010 to 2014 line, and the Ronnie Harrison one. So I stripped some down, had them redone at Switch and Stitch in Berea.
Oh,
And
nice.
they turned out-
I didn't know
they
about
turned out
that.
Great. Oh yeah.
So what? They'll put a different nameplate on the back of it for you?
Nameplate numbers, the whole thing. So I got a Johnny Manziel jersey on eBay for $25, and I stripped it down to nothing, a plain white one, and I turned it into a Phil Dawson jersey. Have a guy that I know that gets me captain patches, and have the captain's patch that was on there for that year for him and everything.
Wow.
Awesome.
Kit.
It was-
And,
and what-
okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I was just going to ask the name of the place again because I'm probably going to go there. Switch and Stitch.
Switch and Stitch, or it might be Stitch and Switch. I can't remember.
Stitch
I always
and
get it
Switch.
backwards. But she's on Twitter.
Okay.
If you look on my timeline at all, I always tag her and stuff, and I brag about her to everybody because they are amazing.
Yeah.
In fact, right now she has my Garrett, my Landry, my Thomas, one of my Pedersen jerseys, and my OBJ jersey. She's repairing a little hole in the OBJ jersey. I took the corner patch off and have an embroidery mark. And she's doing new nameplates on the other jerseys to make them the 3-inch letters instead of 2.5.
Awesome. I might have a Trent Richardson jersey that might find new life as Ronnie Harrison now.
Yeah, and that's a
Attaboy.
good move. I feel like he's going to be a big part of the safety room moving forward.
Sweet.
All right, so let's get into our Browns talk, boys. Come on, let's get into it. So this year, we finally got an award coming to the Cleveland Browns, and it is Kevin Stefanski won Coach of the Year. He got 25 votes. The next closest person to him was the Buffalo coach, right? McDermott?
McDermott.
And it had 7. So he won by a landslide. So what are you guys' thoughts on Stefanski's probably the best coach we've had in 20 years, right?
Since Marty.
Since Marty.
I mean Belichick obviously, but he was still awfully young. But yeah, I mean, the sky's the limit for this guy.
So what do you think over there, Mike?
I mean, nobody in the modern, since the return has had that record, even 11-5. So that right there is a big check mark. And additionally, he took them to the playoffs. They won a playoff game. There's promise. I mean, I think the expectation now is AFC Championship game. I mean, that's a minimum next year.
Well, and hopefully they actually do it, depending on what they do in the offseason. And the reason why I brought the offseason up is because there is a guy that Brian and I like to emulate at work when we play catch football. And there's like rumblings that Richard Sherman is interested in the Browns. So I want to get both your guys' take. I'm going to go with Mike on this one. What are your thoughts about Sherman joining the Browns?
It's a double-edged sword. I really like his leadership. I like his experience. He's been there. He knows how to win. He could bring a lot to a young room with Delpit coming off of an injury. Harrison being there. He's still a young guy. He's like, 26, I think. But the other thing, too, is does his attitude, his personality, does it fit our locker room? I mean, this is a guy that a year ago wouldn't shake Baker Mayfield's hand at a game.
Oh, yeah, right.
So think about that. I mean, we have a culture built right now that's really strong, that this team's really bonded. They've really bought into everything Stefanski's doing. So while he brings a lot with the leadership aspect, I just don't know if he's going to do a lot for the locker room. And the other thing, too, I don't want him playing corner. I want him playing more safety than anything.
What about slot? Just sticking him in there as a nickel zone guy.
And that's it. That's the only place I'd want him as far as corner would be considered, as a nickel or his own guy on the corner. And then I would want him playing safety otherwise, doing some over-the-top work.
All right. Brian, what do you think?
Yeah, it was kind of cool. I don't know if you heard where this kind of all started. C.J. McCollum, NBA Portland Trailblazer, who's a giant Browns fan, was tweeting at Richard Sherman about like any chance you could come to the Browns. The Browns could really use you. And he said something like, well, we'll see what happens. So it's cool that that other people are jumping aboard the Browns bandwagon. It was always kind of behind closed doors things that you would admit to your friends that you were a giant Browns fan, and now it's kind of becoming more acceptable, and people are getting out there and getting behind this team. So, you know, we are just a couple of veterans on defense away from being a pretty good defense because we have playmakers. So if we just get some veteran leadership, you know, I think we can go as far as we want to. You saw Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl. All their guys that contributed on that great defense, they weren't all homegrown talent. It was signing a Jason Pierre-Paul or bringing in a Ndamukong Suh, guys that are veterans that have had Pro Bowl seasons in this league, but maybe around the back nine of their career. And, you know, they played a huge role on the biggest stage in the game. So if we can get Richard Sherman in, yeah, I'll take him. And, you know, hopefully whatever beef there was between him and Baker, that's been squashed. But I think what it really comes down to is where the Browns are with Greedy Williams and how they feel about his health.
That's big.
And also got to bring in the fact that, you know, you had Bruce Arians win the Super Bowl with Tom Brady, and he wanted to be a coach here. Like, he was begging for the coaching job here in Cleveland. Do you think he could have pulled it off here in Cleveland, or do you think it was just the right time, right opportunity with Tampa Bay and bringing in all the cohorts with Gronkowski and all them?
I think it was right time, right place, right everything. Just a good opportunity. I just don't know that our team is mature enough and ready enough on the defensive side of the ball to be where Tampa was.
Do you think they're a little too young?
I just think the experience factors there. What I learned in that game against Kansas City is that we are not fast on defense at all. I mean, we showed it. It was bad.
So, Mike, with that being said, I mean, so the Browns have got the 26th pick in the draft, which it's been a while that we've had a 20 pick, but also not followed up by like a number 4 pick. So, with that 26th pick, you know, you're not getting the super top-tier talent. That means our analytics department's going to have to get to work and pick out the diamond in the rough, is what I like to call it. Who do you like going at 26? Do you want a linebacker, a defensive lineman? I mean, they got to go defense with the first pick, unless somebody ungodly is right there in front of them that they have to take.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to depend a lot upon what free agency bears. I mean, March 17th is a date that I'm excited for. I'm drooling over. I can't wait for that day to come to see what they do, because I predict that they're going to make some sort of a splash.
You can't start drooling yet. We haven't started Fatt Boy Tuesday yet. You got to wait till later on. I know you're excited about it, but you can't drool now.
But my hope is that in some form of the offseason here prior to the draft, they bring in some sort of veteran leadership on the edge. And they bring in something at the corner or safety position, because that'll open them up to use that 26th pick on a linebacker. And I think that Zaven Collins out of, I think it was Tulsa.
Yes.
I think he's going to fall to 26. And he's huge. He's a physical freak, and he's quick underneath, and he can help set the edge as well in the run game.
Bri?
So that would be where I'd want to go is linebacker.
Right, and certainly we need help there because our young talent has been okay, but I don't know if anyone's really said that they can see anything special at this point between Phillips or Mack or Taki. So we need help there. A veteran would be nice, but I think I'm convinced now more than ever that we need to build a strong defensive line, because after seeing what Tampa Bay did to Mahomes, you're going to have to be dealing with him for the next decade. And it was just, I mean, this Super Bowl was just unbelievable how unpredicted it was, because nobody could see that coming. Them only putting up 3 field goals the whole game, and I think back to the Giants Patriots Super Bowl a couple years ago, where the Giants were coming in, Patriots, big bad Patriots, undefeated, and the Giants kind of neutralized the star quarterback with their defensive line. So I think if we can have 4 guys up front, so we don't have to blitz, so we can get to the quarterback with just using 4 guys, then you're playing like 7-on-4 in the backfield, and as wide receivers, they only can send out 4 guys on routes if they have everybody in blocking. So, yeah, give me a star defensive end or a stud defensive tackle, because you saw in that Super Bowl, they have the guys off the edge, JPP and Shaquille Barrett. They were getting to him off the edge, but Pat Mahomes couldn't just step up in the pocket and get rid of it. He had to start running backwards because there was no place to step up to, because Sue and Vita Vea were right in his face too. So, yeah, we need to collapse the pocket with 4 guys, and I think that's how you beat Pat Mahomes. And I'm sure they'll make adjustments, but yeah, give me all the defensive talent on the line that we can. And I think if you only make your cornerbacks cover for 2 or 3 seconds, these long developing routes that the Chiefs run, they won't have time to develop.
All right. Well, I personally, like I told Brian, I looked at a mock draft that had this linebacker from Missouri, Nick Bolton, I think is what his name is. I watched some tape on him, and he's actually a middle linebacker. That he can actually get downfield and actually wrap up a tackle, because, you know something, all I want for our defense is somebody that can tackle. Not throw a body at somebody. I want somebody that can just wrap up and drive somebody into the ground. Not Sandejo, who is just going to put his head down and throw his body somewhere. Could you imagine
Mac Wilson's numbers if he wrapped up?
It'd be unreal. I don't understand. Yeah. Like I was explaining to Bri, I don't understand the whole reasoning behind not wrapping somebody up. Like, I wrestled for a very long time. I understand how to wrap people up. I just don't understand. I understand they're running fast at you, but is it really that hard to grab a leg or something like that to take them down? Like, I don't. Why you just throw your shoulder into them? Because guess what? They're going to bounce off and gain another 10 yards.
You get a separated shoulder.
That's true. That's true. I get you. Greedy Williams. Soon.
Right.
I just want the Browns to be great. So, Mike, we're going to reflect on your season. All right. So we give the guest a little bit of time to reflect on their 2020 COVID season that was filled with Zoom calls and blowouts by Pittsburgh not Pittsburgh, but by Baltimore there at the beginning, and then something magically happened after the bye week, and I want to get your take on how you felt as a fan watching that.
It was interesting. I mean, week 1, obviously, I watched that game, and I had a couple of thoughts. I wanted to give Kevin Stefanski kind of a mulligan, because I thought, well, he didn't know any preseason stuff. He had no real camps, no real anything. And it's like, here, go coach. And to go play the Ravens, the defending MVP, the yada, 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 at their house. So I wanted to give him a mulligan, but at the same time, I kind of was like, damn, that's the same old Browns, because Baker and the offense were inept. I mean, they kind of moved the ball between the 20s, but otherwise they were inept, and the defense looked pitiful, and just one of those games. But then the next week they came out, they bounced back, and I felt good, and they put a little string together, and then played Pittsburgh and laid a big rotten egg. You know, same idea. I thought, oh man, now they can't win against the division. They can't beat the guys they have to beat to get to the playoffs. You know, it really kind of did. I think that really set the stage for the second half of the season, because to get to the playoffs, you had to get through the big dogs. Now, they unfortunately didn't beat Baltimore that Monday night, but that was arguably the game of the year.
Oh yeah,
arguably the best performance I've seen out of Baker Mayfield in his career.
Well, and the whole team. I mean, the whole team stepped up.
I mean, that was unbelievable, and it just is what it is. Lamar Jackson was the defending MVP, and he showed it, and he played a good game.
So
I also like to think if our secondary was there, we win that game.
Oh yeah, I think so too. What do you think going forward for the Browns? I mean, you said AFC Championship or bust, right?
Yeah, the sky's the limit. I mean, I love Stefanski's ability to adjust. I love I love it when you brought up the second half of the season because as you probably noticed, it was like they clicked. All of a sudden, there was a snap, a light switch, and they went from being a really kind of fairly predictable run team to pretty much a passing offense the second half of the season.
Well, the thing I liked about it, like Brian and I talked about it, it was almost like Stefanski and all the offensive people sat down with Baker going, well, this play obviously isn't working. Let's do this now. And, it sounded like they actually sat down and had a really good time with Baker and kind of got him on an arrow because he was a totally different person after that bye week. I mean, he wasn't even like a little bit. He was a completely different person after that bye week. And I might have to pause talking and see what happens. We had a little technical difficulty with the Audacity app that I use, and we're playing a little catch up. But what would you say to? I mean, Baker's our franchise guy, right?
No doubt about it.
Okay. What would you say about would you re-sign Denzel Ward?
I would give him his fifth year, and I'd wait and see. I would actually, when it comes to prioritizing extensions, he wouldn't be on my list right now.
Let me pause this real quick because I'm having a little issue on my side. Let me pause it real quick, guys. All right, guys. So I think I got the technical issue taken care of. I'm not 100% sure yet, but we'll see what happens after this. We're going to close the book on the Browns, all right, because we got to talk a little bit of Cavs because they're getting into their toughest stretch and they are losing horribly, and I think they are pretty much done in. What would you say, Bri?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if they're done because who knows? It's still very early in the NBA season, so I wouldn't put a fork in them just yet. But yeah, I mean, like you said, they have a tough stretch. They're now 10-15. They have 4 or 5 tough games right in a row, all on this road trip. So you could be looking at 10-19 before it's all said and done, before we stop the bleeding, and then we have a couple winnable games after that. But you just hope it's not too little, too late. You hope with such a young team that mentally they're not too fragile to suffer a losing streak and just kind of pack it in. But I think JB Bickerstaff is a great head coach, and so I put my faith in him, and they'll bounce back. They'll be in contention, but I don't feel as good as I did this time last week.
Now, Mike, you told me that you do not get any of the Cavs games at all.
Unfortunately, I would definitely be trying to check some of them out just because there's nothing else going on right now other than hockey.
Oh,
right?
Well,
but yeah,
I take it you get the Buffalo Sabres then.
No, we get the Pens actually.
Oh, you guys get the Pens? Okay. Well, I mean, we are Blue Jackets fans and Red Wings fans over here.
Okay, I'm definitely a Penguins fan.
Of course you are, because that's the one thing we got to fight about. I mean, it's so obviously you've been to Permanente Brothers, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, you've been to Panini's. Have you been to Ohio's Panini's?
I haven't, but my father-in-law has.
All right. Well, when you come back here for a game, we are taking you to Panini's so you can compare and contrast who has the best sandwich.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not a huge fan of the Permanente sandwich anyhow. I think it's pretty overrated.
Really?
I think the meats that they use aren't quality enough. If you have the quality of the meats, I think it might be a better sandwich. But there's too much grease on the fries. It's just it's just not my thing. Their wings, however, are actually pretty good if you get their wings.
Well, I've never had wings from there, so now I got to try that.
Now, can I ask you a question? Because we've heard rumors in Pittsburgh. I don't know if this is a Pennsylvania thing or just a Pittsburgh thing. They put French fries on their salads. Can you confirm that?
That's definitely a Western PA thing. Like, that's the whole side of the state.
Have you had it?
Yeah. I could go down the street from my house right now, and I could go order a salad and then come out with a chicken salad with French fries on it.
What? Hold on. Why the French fries? Now we're getting it. Hold on. I got to play the clip, Bri, because obviously. Okay, hold on. Let me get through this real quick. So hold on. Indians pitcher from long ago, Trevor Bauer, Bri's favorite person, signed a $40 million contract, and the Indians are going to suck. Let me get over here to our and it's not even playing. Why is it not playing? I can't even play it now. I can't even play. Hold on. I'll play it on this side. I'm playing it because we have. I got to wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it. Wait for it.
System's slow today.
I know. Wait for it.
And now it's time for Fatt Boy Tuesday.
All right, there we go. We got Fatt Boy Tuesday. We're just getting into Fatt Boy Tuesday right out of the gate. So
jumped right into it.
I know. So everybody can still hear me, correct? Oh crap! Well, hold on. Let me plug you back in. All right. So is everybody back in?
Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Mike, you there? All right. So it is time for Fatt Boy Tuesday, which most people don't realize. We had Bob in Millersburg hook us up with that sounder, and it is absolutely amazing. I love playing it. Brian knows what it is. Mike, have you heard that sounder yet?
I haven't.
Okay, well, you listen to this episode, you'll hear that sounder, and it might be a little muffled. But when we talk about Fatt Boy Tuesday, that's when we start getting our food topics. And obviously, we are getting into French fries on salad. Like, I've heard of croutons. I've heard of tortilla strips and stuff like that. I have never had French fries on a salad.
You know, if you're really looking to get rid of the healthy aspect, it's the way to go.
Okay.
Right up your alley, Fatty.
It's really not bad. I mean, you get the right dressing. I'm a blue cheese dressing guy. It has to have like real blue cheese in it. It can't just be like some sifted, creamy blue cheese flavored crap. It has to be real.
So you got to you can't put Italian dressing on that salad. You got to put something hearty like a ranch or blue cheese.
Right. Exactly. Thousand Island you might get away with, but that'd be about as non-ranch or creamy as I go. But I mean, it's not a bad touch, but it's definitely not the health way to go.
No, and people have called me weird for this. Like when I do a taco salad, I put French dressing on my taco salad.
Yeah, that's normal.
Well, I didn't know because most people put taco sauce and all that stuff.
Normal? I don't know.
Oh, it's French dressing.
Yeah, that's what I've always put French dressing on my taco salad. Now, hold on. Is there any other Western PA pet peeves they got with food that we got to get into?
Find out more.
I don't know. That's about the weirdest thing they do for food here.
Do they put French fries on anything else? We know they put it on their sandwiches and their salads. Anything else? Pizza?
I mean, everything's ranch. They dip the pizza in ranch. They dip everything in ranch.
Okay.
Well, we do that too.
Yeah.
We're fat. Of course, there's
But
that's a given.
I can't think of any other real Western. I mean, pierogies. I don't know if you guys have pierogies.
Oh, of course we we live in Cleveland. Of course we got pierogies like crazy.
There's a little place in McKees Rocks in Pittsburgh called Pierogies Plus that does homemade pierogies, and it's the best.
We gotta take it to Parma.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're coming with us to Parma. We'll show you. We'll show you pierogies.
All right.
Done right.
Yeah, I'm in.
Like it's not little pierogies either. Like when they say you're getting a meal, you're getting a meal.
Yeah.
And it's like,
oh yeah, that's these pierogies plus. They're huge, size of your hand.
Plus we have Polish Village over here in Parma. I think that
Polish? Yeah.
Yeah.
There's one guy over there that does a great job with all kinds of pierogies.
That's why we get excited about Fatt Boy Tuesday, because when they do Fat Tuesday and start, oh my Lord, the food that they bust out. Now, with we started talking about omelets, you and I, right? And here in Cleveland, there is the original Pancake House that has got the biggest omelet I have ever seen. It's delicious. I put pictures out on Twitter. Bryce had the omelet there too.
The size of a Frisbee.
It is huge. Okay. It's $10 for this omelet. So you can imagine how huge this is. Plus that place also does, their own bacon, in-house bacon. So they do everything in-house. So you and I were talking about omelets, and you said that you have an omelet place in South Carolina that you just you go to no matter what.
Yeah, every time I'm down there, it's called Stacks Omega. It's off of Haywood Road in Greenville, South Carolina. I lived down in Greenville, Greer area for about 5 years as a claims adjuster down there. And so there's a lot of good eats down there. I was about 270 pounds when I got down there. When I left, I was 330 pounds. So there's a lot of good food down there.
Nice.
I took it all on the chin. But they have a Greek omelet there that it's like fresh shaved lamb. It's got all this like huge crumbles of feta cheese, the baby spinach, the tomatoes, the whole bit. And it's like the size of a softball. It's this huge lump of an omelet. And it comes with, fries or hash browns or whatever you want, home fries. It's the best thing you'll ever eat.
Oh my God. I wish we were video chat right now because Brian's sitting there. Brian, Vinny's over here going, oh yeah, the feta. Yeah.
The feta. Yeah, and that's the touch, man. The more feta they put in it, you should ask them for extra feta.
And he's just sitting here drooling over here and just going, oh and yeah, lamb.
They serve this 24/7. They're open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Oh, that's amazing. That'd be a good drunk food. At like 2 o'clock in the morning.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner too. They do like country fried steak with like the gravy over it, the whole bit.
Now you're getting in my wheelhouse now.
Yeah, and then they got a big ass bakery in the middle of it too. I mean, this Greek guy owns a couple of these places around Greenville, and it's just nutty.
Okay, so Bri, what's your best omelet, bud? What's your go-to omelet? Let's get into it. Let's get into omelets.
I mean, if you want to go into omelets, I'm a simple guy. I'm a simple man. I like meat and I like cheese. If I had to build my perfect omelet, it'd be bacon, maybe a little bit of sausage and a little bit of ham and a crap ton of cheddar cheese.
You don't get fancy with it?
No. I mean, bacon, cheese, I'm good with it. It's kind of like pepperoni pizza. It's not going to be bad wherever you get it from. So yeah, keep it simple.
So you're not going to be disappointed. You're kind of like a meat lover's omelet, right?
Right. Okay. Yeah, I don't get too fancy with it. Now, if somebody has something kind of off the wall that they want to throw in their omelet, I'm good with that. I'll try it probably, but yeah, I'm not getting mushrooms or spinach or anything like that. Not my omelet, anyways.
All right. So, Vinny, what's your go-to omelet?
You name it. I don't know. I kind of like it all. So, I've had the Western, I've had the Greek, I've had so many different kinds. Back one of the episodes that we did before when we were talking about diners and stuff, I always got the omelets where I kind of went, and they've always blown me away.
Yeah. For me personally, I do the corned beef and hash omelet that they do there at the Original Pancake House. They got the red potatoes, they got the onions, they got your corned beef hash in there. Throw a little hot sauce on top of that thing and just go to town.
Yeah.
So
that sounds awesome.
So, Mike, what are your favorite things to go in an omelet?
Bacon, lots of cheddar cheese, onions. I mean, really anything. I'm kind of open to trying anything, but those are the staples right there: the bacon, the cheddar cheese, and the onions.
So you're like Jay. What goes great with bacon? More bacon.
Yeah. And cheddar cheese. Nothing beats cheddar cheese.
Oh, my sister's calling me, and I gotta hang up on her. But you can hear the beeps. We're just gonna let her beep in. She knows I'm recording right now, and I'll have to call her after we're done.
Bring her in.
I can't because you know what this phone call's about.
Oh,
yeah. So for those that don't know, my dad just got out of the hospital, and just a quick stint in the hospital, and he's just now getting out, and she's probably calling me to give an update on his how he's doing. So let's get into, boys, we are about 45 minutes in. All right. Mike, is there anything food wise that you want to ask us about before we start our top three?
Yeah, actually, best brewery for food and for locally brewed beer in the downtown Cleveland area, kind of closer to the stadium.
Okay, so that would be Bry's probably best thing, because mine It's probably, what is it? Probably about 20 minutes away from downtown. You have Fatheads Brewery.
Mm-hmm.
But you also have platforms down there. You also have, Joe Barris, what was it? No, not Noble Beast.
Well, it begins and ends with Great Lakes Brewing Company.
Well, yes.
That's the best brewery in Cleveland. They also have Southern Tier down there. I want to say I went to one before Browns game last year when we played the Rams on Sunday night. We kind of hung out and watched the games before it. I think it's called Masthead or something.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, Masthead.
Is
too.
that
I got
right?
their beer.
Okay. They had some good food there too. They had flatbreads and like pulled pork nacho was phenomenal. So there's quite a bit to choose from. It just kind of it's what your cup of tea is and what you're feeling that day. I don't think you can go wrong with any of them though.
No, and
Yeah, 'cause
I personally endorse Fatheads Brewing Company because it's just down the street from us. They have a bubbleberry beer, and plus their food, they have these sandwiches called headwiches, and it's because it's the size of your head. They're not joking around with those sandwiches. Like, they
yeah, those
are
awesome.
massive.
Yeah, very good.
Those are awesome. Now I went to Noble Beast. That's the one brewery.
That's
that
the one I was
come to
bringing up.
downtown.
Yeah.
They're really good. They're real good.
So I've
But,
never been there. Is their food good there?
Their food's legit. Their food's real good. They had this chicken sandwich with kind of the southern coleslaw on it,
Whoa.
like a more of an Italian coleslaw, and then it had some spicy sauce on it, some bacon, some little everything. It was real good. It was a nice thick piece of chicken breast too. That was actually southern fried.
Even better. All right, now we got to get off of food now because I'm getting excited.
I'm hungry.
I know.
Well,
Vinny's hungry.
I thought we were going to talk about your Super Bowl spread.
We're not doing that now. Omelets are done. My Super Bowl spread was 18 spicy garlic wings. So there.
Well, that's why, because it's a boring spread.
Exactly. What was your spread?
Wings.
See?
We ordered from JoJo's, which is right down the street from me, and I got wings and potato skins. My wife got a Reuben, which turns out was great news for me because they brought a patty melt, so I got to eat a patty melt too.
So hold on. She got her Reuben and a patty melt?
No, instead of the Reuben, they gave her a patty melt, and so she had to call back and say you got it wrong. So then they delivered the Reuben too. So I ended up eating the patty melt, and I saved the wings for the next day.
Oh,
I got 2 days of Super Bowl spread.
Bonus. That's what we
It was
call
a great
bonus.
day for me.
That's what
Didn't even have to leave my house to get it.
that's what we call bonus right there. Holy
Dang right. 2021 is going to be a great year, if that's any indication.
So, Vinny, did you have a spread?
No, actually, we really didn't have a spread. I went ahead, I ordered some pizzas, and we went on over to Mom's for a little bit. Usually we do, earlier type stuff. But
Yeah.
not this year.
All right, well, I mean, that's all we did here at the house. We ordered pizza and wings.
Mm-hmm.
So the boys,
Where'd you guys get pizza from?
we got it from Pizza Hut because the boys asked for Pizza Hut, and I got the spicy garlic wings from them. And by the way, their spicy garlic wings at Pizza Hut are no joke. Like, their wings are actually really good. I was kind of surprised because most pizza places give you those little baby wings. No, they actually did legit wings. So, shout out to Pizza Hut here. Where'd you get pizza from there, Vinny?
I actually went to Domino's.
See?
So
We went all chain.
yeah. Well, I told them about that special deal thing that they got going on that, nobody talks about, but they do the commercials for, $7.99 for the 3-topping, any 3-topping, large. I was like, oh, cool. I'll do that. Get a couple pizzas.
Domino's has this, I think they call it Brooklyn style pizza, which is kind of, it's almost like, it's basically New York style, but, it's a thinner crust. It's really good. If you maybe have soured on Domino's or you want to try something a little different, yeah, I recommend that. It's cheap and it's good.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very good. Fetty went ahead. He'll be right back. So, Did you want to get into the top three? And we can circle back around to Fatty.
Sure. Mike, do you know what? Did he tell you what the top three is? Do you know? We're doing
coaches, right?
Right. Coaches that you would like to play for. I don't know, past
or present,
20 years, 30 years, whatever. I guess he put a stipulation on it that it can't be a current coach unless he's a little older or has been coaching for a while. So, anybody come to mind?
Stefanski would have been my first choice because, boy, apparently he's done enough to make those guys buy in like overnight.
Right,
not even
first year.
But I guess, it's a shame that he's gone, but Schottenheimer, would be probably my top choice.
Right.
He was around for the AFC Championship games and all that stuff. And when I was growing up in the 80s, that was who was the head coach, and I have vague memories of him. But Marty would probably be my first choice.
Yep, for sure. You have a 2 and a 3? Have you thought that far ahead?
Yeah, not really. Kind of.
Or do you like any other coaches in the league right now that you kind of have your eye on that you think maybe if something would happen to Stefanski, and they didn't come to terms on an extension, anybody you'd like to have?
Boy, in the league today, I'm not sure. Y'all might hate me for this, but Mike Tomlin would come to mind as somebody that if he was ever fired and Stefanski didn't work out for some reason, I would hope they'd line up to get him an interview because 14 years, he's never been under 500. He always seems to have that team motivated and ready to play. So while I might get shredded in some circles for that, Tomlin would probably be my number 2 pick.
Well, yeah, he certainly knows the division and he knows how to beat Pittsburgh. So, I mean, he's kept the job. How long has he been there for? Like 12, 14 years now?
13
yeah.
years.
So, he could do a lot worse than that.
Yeah, probably Chuck Noll would be my third then.
Sure. Right.
Yeah. Okay. All right, Fat Guy's back. So Mike gave his top 3?
Yep, that was Mike's top 3.
Okay, I heard Tomlin, Chuck Noll. Who was the first one?
Marty.
Marty?
Yeah, Marty. Yeah.
Marty.
All right. So, Brian, do you want to give your top 3 or you want Vinny to take it?
Sure, I'll go. I'll get it out of the way quick. And I know you were kind of talking that maybe you want to steer away from current coaches, but this guy's been around for a while. So my number 3 would be Pete Carroll. He seems like a good dude.
Boy.
He seems like he'd be a lot of fun to play for. I think back to when they drafted DK Metcalf and all the memes were going crazy about DK flexing with that shirt off in the weight room, and he comes in and Pete Carroll rips his shirt off to greet him. So I think he'd be a fun guy to play for, and obviously whatever he's doing has worked for a long time. So
except for
he'd be my number 3. Number 2, I was trying to think back maybe a little bit in my younger days, and actually I don't know if I've talked about it when the Browns left in '95. I was kind of just starting to love the game of football, and so I kind of attached to another team for those 3 years when the Browns weren't around, and I didn't want to pick an AFC team, so I picked an NFC team, and my team was the Minnesota Vikings and Denny Green. They just seemed to have a lot of fun, and they had a ton of success. So
Denny Green, Minnesota, not Arizona, right?
Yeah. They are who we thought they were, not that Denny Green.
Because that is like the best soundbite ever.
Oh, yeah. I remember that Monday night game against the Bears. They were crushing them and somehow found a way to blow it.
All right, so you're number 1.
My number 1, it's sentimental. I'm with Mike. It's Marty because he's the best Browns coach that I've ever known. And, he's what the memories of Marty's teams are what keep you coming back even 20, 30 years later, because you're just hoping that they can get back to what they were in the late 80s. And, just hearing all the stories about him, as we probably will over the next several days as well, it sounds like he was a great guy. So hard to beat Marty right now.
All right. So, Vinny, give me your top 3, big fella.
Well, I kind of went more deeper back and stuff like that for a lot of mine. And actually, I kind of found out that a lot of mine have been kind of Miami coaches.
Yeah, they've been a lot of Miami coaches.
Which my father was a very big fan of when we played the football games and stuff like that, when he wasn't the Browns. But Jimmy Johnson, he was a great coach and, became a sportscaster and stuff later on. My number 2 is Don Shula.
Oh, yeah.
Another great guy. My number 1 happened to be Vince Lombardi. Shares he shares the name. It's a good name. Good name, Vince Lombardi.
No love for Marv Levy, then, huh?
Yeah,
Marv Levy, Buffalo Bills.
You know what? You know me, as I've said in other ones.
He didn't win. No, because he didn't win.
No. I don't follow coaches that much, so I follow the players a little bit more than I do the coaches. But yeah, I don't. Coaches are worse for me than the players are.
So let's get into the fat guys' top 3. My number 3, and I wish I had a ding. The man, the myth, the legend, the Bears, Mike Ditka. I would love to play for Mike Ditka. He just seems like that no-nonsense guy that would just punch you in the face if you screwed up. Like, I like coaches like that. My number 2 would have to be Romeo Cornell. He just seems like a big old teddy bear that I could just wrap my hands around and just give him a big old hug if something happens. And he wouldn't even care. He would just actually go along with it. I just, like, I look at him and I'm like, oh, look at him. And I just want to give him a hug. Like, I don't know what it is about Romeo. And
I love Romeo in the 2007 season, I tell you that much.
Oh, I know. And then my number 1, and if Vinny won't say it, I will. Or Levy. The guy went to 4 straight Super Bowls and lost all of them. Yeah. But he got to 4 straight Super Bowls. I don't even think Belichick can say 4 straight, can he?
No, not 4.
Because he would always get 2 and then he'd back out 1. Or 1 and 1. So, for him to actually take that team, and granted he had a Hall of Fame quarterback and everything, and Don Beebe.
Hey, you should be happy for me. I stayed away from Bill Belichick.
I know you did, and I appreciate that.
Stayed away from a lot of them.
You stayed away from Tom Brady, too. So,
Not as a coach.
I know.
So when you were talking about Mike Ditka, you're saying how he seems like the coach that if you screw up, he'd punch you right in the face. Is that why you're a Woody Hayes fan?
Yes. That is exactly why I'm a Woody Hayes fan. Because that kid,
you want your coach to punch you in the face.
Yeah, because obviously that Clemson player needed that. So I
couldn't let it slide.
That's fine. You know something? You're just
having worked at Clemson University. That kid probably had it coming.
Oh, see, there it is. See,
and then insider.
Also, and also with the Michigan hate, you're just bitter right now because you haven't won anything in 20 years. That's fine. That's completely fine, bro. I understand. You guys are a basketball school now.
You're not wrong. They are a basketball school, number 3 in the country.
Yeah, well, guess who's number 4?
Yep. Right behind them.
Right behind him, with Aaron Kraft again for his 14th year. All right, so let's close it out. You both know the. I told Mike the trivia question I answered. So the trivia question that I brought up today was: there's another quarterback that won 7 championships in 10 tries. And if you guys can say it both together with nice and vigor, go ahead.
Who's that?
Both of you.
Otto Graham.
Otto Graham.
Yep. Otto Graham won 7. Was it AFL championships?
It's AFL and NFL.
Okay. He won 7 of them in 10 years. And the Hall of Famer that he is, so glad that he was part of the Browns. And guess what? Tom Brady can't take that away from Otto Graham.
The greatest quarterback the Browns have ever seen.
I know. I know. All right, boys. Well, Mike, I can't thank you enough for joining us.
Yeah.
I hope you had a blast. All right.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we will definitely have you on again, especially when we go out and get some food here in Cleveland, would you come in next time? Because
I'd happily come in.
we will take you to some certain dive places that nobody knows about. We'll get you some good food.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. Like I said, I only live about an hour, 10 minutes away, so it's really not that big of a deal to come out that way.
Oh, perfect. See, we can just snag him right in.
We might have him out in a couple weeks.
Yeah,
if we
you
end up
might
at
come
Foundry.
out. Yeah, you might come out to the Foundry with us.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that sounds good.
All right. Well, Mike, thank you so much for joining us. We greatly appreciate it, bud. I hope you had a blast.
Thanks, guys. I did. Thanks for having me.
All right. Have a
Thanks,
good night,
Mike.
bud.
You the man.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
And I have kicked him off, I think. Bri?
Yep.
All right. So, boys, we are here at the end of our show. All right. And for some odd reason, we always think that it won't go over an hour, and yet it always does.
Oh,
So,
really?
Yeah, we're like an hour and a minute over. Like, yeah, like, that's shocking or something.
I didn't think we were that long.
Well, that's all right. So let's close out the show here. We had a great show with, thank you, Mike, for joining us. We had a blast with you. And we got into omelets, which we haven't got into. And then people, they put French fries on salad. Ugh.
Right.
Like,
You know what? There's something with French fries that I've become a little bit accustomed to, and from what I was told, it was like a Pennsylvania thing, mixing your mayonnaise with ketchup. So they, put a little mayonnaise and ketchup together, and and you eat it with your fries.
okay, I'm looking at Vinny very funny right now, if anybody can see it.
I like it. It's
Okay.
not bad.
Okay.
Well, if you're willing to put French fries on your salad, where do you draw the line? I mean, what are you not willing to put on your salad?
I've never had
Right?
that. Yeah, I've
Right?
never done that. So
I mean, seriously, what can you think of that? Oh, would not go with a salad. Absolutely not. Chocolate? Do they put chocolate bars on their salads? I don't know.
Hey, Bri, lay off me. I'm having a salad, but there's French fries on it. Shut up. That's all right.
Piece of lettuce somewhere.
It's wrapped in lettuce. All right, let's get out of here before we get too crazy.
bacon bits.
The bacon bits. I love bacon bits. Stop it. I'm starving. All right. So, boys, we're here at the end of the show. Thank you, everyone who listens. Jeez, God, I don't know why you do. But hopefully it's for stuff like this. Vinny, give them a good night.
Hey, have a great night, everybody.
All right, Big Brian, give them a God bless.
Yeah, God bless you. God bless America.
All right, I am that fat guy. We are legally in the face. We are definitely uncorked and unloaded right now, and we are out. See ya. See ya.